This was years ago, I was probably about 10, but it's still one of my favorite memories of this woman. My dad's wife has always been the definition of horrible stepmom. I met her as a toddler, and even at that age she would do everything she would to make me feel unwanted by talking crap about me and my family. She got worse over the years, not getting into it, but it was rough. She always had to make sure I knew I wasn't wanted. One day we were at a party filled with people I never met, and they weren't family. I assume it was a coworkers or something. She had struck up a conversation and was bonding with someone new when I happened to hear her mention the number of kids she had. That I corrected her, and she had to backtrack and say she was talking about the kid she birthed. The lady she was talking to noped out of there so quick, it was hilarious. I got in trouble, but considering I'm still laughing to this day, super worth it.
So my 18F mother, 50-something F, kicked me out today because I wouldn't let her financially take advantage of me. She told me to get out and take nothing with me. Then she left. I'm really fortunate that one of my friends lives in the same building as me, so we were able to take everything I owned in about 3 hours. I've been seeing this coming for a while, so most of my things were already packed away. Now, a little context for my friend. She, bless her heart, has the worst body odor I've ever smelled. It's bad. Like never completely come out of fabric bad. And for the past 3 hours we have been running up and down 2 flights of stairs carrying heavy boxes, so, as we sit on the couch, resting and taking the place in before we never return, I allow myself one petty thought. I grab my mother's pillow and I hand it to my friend. She understands the assignment. That pillow goes under her armpits, her back, her chest, anywhere it can soak up 3 hours worth of sweat. That pillow sees hell. We put the pillow back in its place and leave. Now, I don't know if she actually meant for me to leave or not. But when she gets home and sees my room empty, I hope she regrets chasing away the last person who cared for her. And when she gets in bed and lays her head down on her pillow. Edit. I'm not sure why it won't let me post the update separately, so I'll just put it here. Hi. So this was kind of my first time posting on Reddit, and I'm surprised at how much attention this got. I don't come here often. I mostly just listen to r/. Thank you so much for your kind words and advice. Reading the comments have kept my mind off of things, and a few gave me a good laugh, so thank you, really. I was really shaken when I made the first post and I left out a lot of details because I just wanted to share a funny moment. But I've been getting a lot of questions and I can't sleep, so I wanted to answer a few of them. The most asked one is, of course, what do you mean by taking advantage of you financially? First of all, no, she didn't ask me to pay rent. I would kill to just pay rent and know my living situation will be secure. I'm not sure where to start that would give enough context, but I'll start by saying that my mother is a narcissist. She is a miserable woman that everyone who has ever known her has hated. She is a leech that has only ever known how to take from others. She's been addicted to gambling since before I was born, and she certainly hasn't stopped now. Anyways, I'll get into the main story. Please keep in mind that my knowledge is very limited. Most of it came from her, and she is the least honest person I know. I don't understand much of this to begin with, so, about a year or two ago my great-grandmother passed away and left her house to my mother. The house is in a gated community/trailer park, with a horrible board/HOA/something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it is. My mother explained it to me as a club, and to live there you need to qualify to join it. To qualify, you need to own a trailer, a truck to pull it, and go on a few camping trips with them. My great-grandparents promised that we wouldn't have to do anything, but the club demands that we go through the process to qualify to live there. Our living situation isn't awful, but it's stressful to maintain. My mother found some guy to drain of his money, and they've been fighting over rent every month. I'm not told much, but I saw a paper that said we owe a lot. I truly don't know why we didn't move down to the house to live basically rent-free. She said it was so I could finish high school with my friends, but I don't believe her. She didn't want to move there, but she didn't want to sell it either. She claimed that it was both because of sentimentality and because she knew she would gamble all the money away the moment it hit her bank account. I know my great-grandmother's death was hard on her, and her grief made her spend more nights at the casino. I would almost feel sorry for her if she didn't make her 16-year-old daughter comfort her at her grandmother's deathbed, so, once she burned any money she inherited, she pawned off the trailer and I assumed the truck too, but I never heard much of it. She pawned anything valuable she could find. She would often ask me for money to keep from losing them forever. She'd often just ask me for money for any reason. Once she realized that she couldn't just win back enough money to get the trailer back, she started begging me for the money. Not me. Begging me to ask my dad for money. They've been separated since I was about 11 and haven't spoken a word to each other since. The night before my 18th birthday she told me that I needed to get money from him or she would lose the trailer and then we would lose the house. I already felt bad enough receiving any money from him, but asking him for thousands of dollars? For my mother? He would literally never give her anything. And apparently it would just be all my fault that we lost the house. I barely made it 20 minutes before breaking down and leaving school early the next morning, walking 2 hours uphill home. That was about 8 months ago. It's just been a constant stress with her demanding things of me that I just can't do every month or so. Recently she finally decided to sell the house because she couldn't qualify to live there. She found someone to sell it to, even if it's for a lot less than what it's worth. 5 days ago, I'm just sitting at my desk when she comes into my room and just tells me that she gave my number to her agent and that he's going to call me. She doesn't elaborate until I ask, why? And she just tells me that she's going to put the house in my name and that I'm going to sell it. I am 18. I barely understand half of the things she has told me about what's going on with the house. I really don't care whatever advantage I might get from it. It's too much stress and I have no idea what I'd be doing. No one is going to tell me what the consequences of this could be. I wouldn't even understand half of what I'd find online if I tried to look it up. I don't even know what to ask. This is an absurd thing to ask of anyone so inexperienced. Why is she doing this, you ask? She said that because of the taxes she owes, if the money went into her account, it would be used to pay them all off and she wouldn't get to keep most of the money. You see, I don't really understand it completely, but I've been told that this is tax evasion. My own mother wants to use me for tax evasion. Whatever her reasons and intentions, I don't trust her. I may be missing out on a lot of money, but my loss is none of her business. The consequences of her actions are finally catching up to her and she's upset that I won't sacrifice myself for her. I've got my whole life ahead of me and I don't want to start it off any worse than I already am. Anyways, I know that if I have that money, she will never stop asking for it. She'll just do what she already does, but on a larger scale, ask to borrow money, never pay it back, or pay half it months later than she said she will, then beg forgiveness while asking for more. She will do it for the rest of my life if she can, so I immediately called my dad and we made a plan to talk to the agent together once he gets back to my state from his vacation. Horrible timing. I know, but things happened way too fast. Today, I was still in bed when my mom comes into my room and again, just tells me that she's going to put the house in my name and have me sell it. Then she tells me there's fees, $1,200-ish, for doing this stuff and she needs me to get the money from my dad. I haven't even put on my glasses yet, much less think about what I'm going to say. So I just tell her what I always tell her, that he won't give her anything. And she just fucking loses it. I don't say anything else. What I'm realizing now was a trauma response, and it just makes her even angrier. She screams at me that I'm stupid and a bitch over and over until she just tells me to get out and go live with my dad. So yeah, I wish she just asked me for rent. Sorry if taking advantage of me financially wasn't the right way to put it. I'm just not sure what else to call it. Second most asked question is, are you okay? I will be. My dad is going to pick me up from my friend's apartment tomorrow. He's going to help me get my life together and make sure I'm successful. It feels weird for once to be thought of without anyone else gaining anything from it. My parents separated when I was about 11 to 12. We tried to make split custody work, but my mom wouldn't stop trying to turn me against him. She made me tell him I didn't want to see him anymore and I never saw him again until I was 15 to 16. I've been steadily spending more time with him since then. I've also been talking to a therapist for about a year. I'm not alone in this. Has your friend tried X? Your friend might have Y. She, 18F, I forgot in the first post, oops, said she just has bad genetics and that a lot of her family has the same problem. Her hygiene is fine and most of the time I don't smell anything. It's just that when I texted her for help, she was also in bed and didn't have the chance to shower or put on any deodorant. With the constant labor and stares for such a long time, it was literally the worst case scenario. Did you get all your important documents? Sadly, no. My mother is a mess and so are her things. I wouldn't know where to find anything nor what they even look like. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with later. Freeze your credit. Yeah, I don't have a credit card. I didn't have my own bank account until about 3 months ago when I got my first job. So much has been going on that I never got around to it. I don't have any kind of shared account with my mother, as there would literally be no point. She would just gamble anything I'd put in there. Before, I had a shared one with my dad that he would put money in every once in a while. I'm very fortunate that he's been doing well. Another edit, GAH, thank you for the advice. I'll admit I didn't really know what this was. I'm going to do this, don't worry. How do you not know how old your mother is? Because her birthday is on Christmas and I haven't spent a Christmas with her in about 3 years. We don't celebrate holidays and I wouldn't want to even if she wanted to. I literally forgot and it's not exactly something you talk about every day. I barely saw her, what with her door dashing to make money all day so she could waste it that night at a casino and all that. What was her reaction to the pillow? Sorry. I'm just as disappointed as you are. I never got a reaction text. Then, the question I assume I'll get, OP you're 18 and you just got your first job. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I have depression and what I thought was anxiety but has been recently diagnosed as CPTSD, a gift from my mother. I haven't been doing okay for as long as I can remember. I barely graduated high school, I definitely wasn't fit to work. I don't even have a driver's license because no one ever taught me how to drive. I was raised to be dependent on my mother. I wasn't even taught to think for myself. I'm just now starting to undo all the damage she's done. Her kicking me out will be the kindest thing she's ever done for me. I'll answer any more questions in the comments. And again, thank you to those that gave me the benefit of the doubt no matter how cryptic my first post was. Sorry for bad grammar or inconsistencies. It's almost 6 a.m. and it's been a long day. I'll try to remember to update in the future. A lot of you have been suggesting that I might actually own the house. My dad suspects the same thing. I'll update once I have an answer to that.